Hey there everybody, in this video we're going to take a look at the new from Ortlieb, the Ortlieb Handlebar Pack QR for quick release, which I have to say is probably one of the most interesting attachment systems I have ever seen in a bike bag to date. So find out what I like and dislike about it in this video. Welcome back Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you're into the non-competitive side of cycling, riding, party pace, you have found your people, hit that subscribe button. So the Handlebar Pack QR just dropped officially today, but I've actually had the chance to ride with it for the last couple months. And I think the bag itself is pretty solid, it's pretty cool, but the lead here is the brand new attachment system, which we'll get into a little bit more in this video. The bag itself is made of the same nice kind of dark grayish black waterproof material of the other bikepacking bags in Ortlieb's line. The stated capacity is 11 liters, so pretty big for a day bag and creeping into that bikepacking territory. I think definitely enough volume for an overnight if you pack super light, or if you're going for a long day ride where you want to take a camera, lots of layers, a picnic, your bear spray, all that good stuff. As you can see on the bag, it does have two very handy external mesh pockets. This is a nice touch. They are large enough to put in a water bottle and some bear spray. I think this would make the bag a little too top heavy, so I probably wouldn't do this personally. I would use it to carry some bear spray and some snacks, or even a small point and shoot camera in this mesh pocket. In terms of getting into the bag, it uses some adjustable orange webbing and a hook closure. This closure is really nice because unlike a zipper or a buckle, it's going to take a lot to break this aluminum hook. And just like many Ortlieb products, you have to do a triple roll here to maintain its IP64 waterproof and dustproof rating. The material itself is waterproof, but because it does use a roll top closure, probably not submersible. So if you go swimming with your bike very often, then you might want to look further, but under regular riding conditions, you should be good to go with this bag. On the inside of the bag, it is one big cavern. There are two webbing straps that buckle together and kind of help it maintain its form. But as you can see, it is just a large dry bag. They do sell a separate pouch that's meant to pair with this, but as it is, there's no organization inside. On the bottom of the bag, there are two other adjustable webbing straps. This allows you to kind of dial in the support you want from the bottom. You could potentially use this to hold layers or even wrap it through a fly rod tube. That's how I would use it. That's all well and good. As a bag, it's pretty solid. I do appreciate the external mesh pocket. Where I think this bag truly shines and is classic Ortlieb is this brand new engineered attachment system to a handlebar. So this is pretty much unlike anything I've ever seen. As you can see, there's kind of a stiff plate, which is attached to a stiff backing. This helps give the bag some form. But check this out. The way it attaches to your bag is through these two kind of ropes, I guess, or bits of reinforced cordage. Show you guys how to attach this bag. Please don't take this as the conclusive tutorial here. First thing you do is you take the white cord. This goes over your handlebar, under your stem, and it connects via this hook over here. Hopefully you can see that. Once you have this kind of roughed in, you want to pull this up, pull the free end up, and that adds some tension. Now you take the black cord and we do the exact opposite. So this goes under the handlebar, over the stem, and this hard plastic piece latches on over here. There's gonna be a lot of slack, and this is when we pull the loose end of the black cable, get some tension, and at some point, this should just snap it closed. You wanna play with the angle and the tension. There you go. That's how it attaches. Definitely easier to do when the bag is empty. Like you said, does take some trial and error, but once you do it a couple times, it makes sense. But basically, you want to think of it as two anti-rotation straps working in unison to keep the bag in place. So why is this special? If you look at handlebar bags, there are only a few handful of mounting options. The most popular one with bikepacking bags is some kind of webbing or belay strap and foam spacers, and that works okay. Not great, not my favorite, but it does the job. On the other hand of the spectrum, you have things like the Click Fix adapter, which works great, but can be a pain in the butt to set up and not very easy to move from bike to bike because of that braided wire that you end up squashing, and you can only actually use it once or twice. This, however, gives you kind of that hard mounted standoff of the Click Fix with the relative ease of taking it on and off a bike and attaching it to different bikes. I'm going to be completely honest, it took me about half an hour to get the hang of attaching it to a bike. So it's not as intuitive as, you know, a typical volet strap. It will take some practice to dial in the fit. Specifically, when mounting it on the bike, you want it angled a little bit upward, so when you finally tighten things down and you put weight, it settles into a level position. There will be some trial and error getting this on your bike at first. A couple other caveats is actually the spacing of this hard. If you put it on a bike with a really wide stem, this bag might not work. I tried to mount this on the Will Sharon bike that just came in. It uses a really beefy and wide mountain bike stem. Didn't work with that one, but has worked with most road stems that I've tried this on. A mount is no good if it falls off your bike. How did this bag and this brand new mount perform? In the couple of months I've been trying it out, it's worked pretty dang good. One thing I realized is I actually miss this space on the handlebars when climbing. You know, I like to grip it here and kind of pull back. Most bike packing bags that use the volet straps, it kind of eats up this handlebar space, but you get it back, people, with this standoff. For the road riding and gravel road riding, ascending and descending I did, the bag was rock solid. Didn't fall off, it maintained its tightness, and I was pretty impressed. Ortlieb does not recommend using this for extreme mountain biking, so if you're gonna get rad and do flips and all that stuff, probably not the bag for you. I did notice when this was mounted on a bike, and if there was nothing in there, if you tapped it up, there was a tendency for the bag to move up, but it would settle back down. But I think once it's loaded with gear, it stays fairly level. So what are the pros and the cons of this bag, and would I recommend it? First big pro is that it's made by Ortlieb. It's got amazing engineering, awesome hardware, and this mount is pretty dang cool. Another big pro is that you get kind of the ease of a bike packing bag in terms of taking it off and putting it back on a bike with the rigid standoff of a Click Fix adapter. Another pro is the size. It's relatively big, probably larger than most typical day bags, about the same size as a Swift Zeitgeist, so in that ballpark. So if you like the size of the Zeitgeist, but absolutely want something waterproof, then this is a bag to check out. I think it'd be large enough to put in a kind of smallish iPad, so you could potentially use it for commuting. Definitely big enough for layers or packing a lot of stuff on a very long day ride. All right, so what are the cons? The first big con that's gonna come up for some people is the price. Because it's waterproof and there are great materials and there is a lot of innovation with this mount, you are going to pay for it. This bag MSRP is $160. Seems like a lot, I know, but you get that Ortlieb quality. If there are other cons with the mounting design, I think one would be, I wish that on the mounting radius here that there was some kind of silicone insert so it doesn't mar your handlebar, so that it generally sticks to your handlebar a little bit better. I also have some question of how long this little switch mechanism here will keep its tension. Since it's hardware and it's a hard plastic, over time these things will just eventually wear down. So far it's still working great, but I'd be curious to see how long this will last. Another con here, this is kind of aesthetic and less functional. When the bag is half empty, it gets a little droopy looking. I wish that they'd used a stiffener all the way up to the front so it kind of maintains its shape a little bit better. As it is, when it's half empty, it's a little sad looking. But other than that, I think this is a pretty cool bag. I'm totally digging this attachment system. I hope to see it in other bags in Ortlieb's line, like the Ultimate 6 handlebar bag. I know it's a pipe dream. I wish they would license this mount to other bag manufacturers. I think this would be really awesome when combined with something like a Caradice or other traditional saddlebag. But, that's just a pipe dream. So that is what I think of the brand spanking new Ortlieb Handlebar Pack QR. Look for it in stores soon. Definitely an innovative take on the handlebar bag from Ortlieb. I think this bag really plays to their strengths in engineering and in materials, where they can really innovate here and not just use belay straps. Not that there's anything wrong with belay straps, but I do wish that there were more sophisticated options when using handlebar bags that weren't a click fix. I'll put links to this bag below if you want to check it out. And as always, if you like this content and want to support the channel, definitely stop by the gift shop or consider supporting the channel on Patreon, where not only do you get the warm and fuzzies of knowing that you're supporting independent bike content, but you also get some sweet discounts. So as always, everybody, keep the supple side down.